Welcome, Coach. Thanks for joining us.
Yep.
Your prerogative. You want to start with the opening statement or go right to questions?
The opening statement is South Dakota State played a great game. They shot the ball really well. Our defense didn't make adjustments soon enough, or didn't follow the execute the game plan well enough. Because believe it or not, it wasn't to let them shoot a bunch of threes. And that coupled with turning the ball over, you can't have a second quarter like that. So when you're learning and you're trying to put together a group, you try to find the positives, and there are some, but it's hard because we think that we're better than we performed, and the good teams make you pay when you're not, which is what happened today.
Thanks, Coach. Yeah. Open up for questions online or in the room.
I've got a question.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Greg.
Yeah, Lisa Grigley here. First, third, fourth quarters, you played them evenly. Talk about the difference in the second quarter.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I obviously they shot the ball great in that quarter. I mean, they were 8 for 12 from the free throw line. They got there a bunch. Okay, so 12 fouls or 12 free throws on fouls. They had some and ones. They were 3 for 5. So I mean, 61% at that time is just coinciding with our own 42%, 33% from the field, and I don't know how many turnovers. Well, I'll have to look at that like with the fine tooth comb. The score is what the score and the score was there, and it made a difference. Not only were we even, we were ahead 4 in those other quarters, unless my math is off. So you just can't. You have to sustain it for the entirety if you're not going to put up a big quarter like that. A couple years ago, we could put up 32 points before we knew what happened, and that's not us yet. I think we're capable, but it's not us yet. And so you just can't give up those kind of quarters when you go on a drought of your own.
You guys defended Brooklyn Meyer really well, but they got loose for 12 3-pointers.
Yeah. I mean, she's a heck of a player, and she shoots it. She shot it 30 more times than her teammates have so far already this year. So they don't miss her. The ball goes in there every possession. I'll have to talk to Aaron. He's my friend. I don't know how he gets him to do it, but they throw it in there all the time. And so that was an emphasis for us. We were supposed, I think we overhelped in times where we were too close to her, and then it made getting out to the 3-point shooters more challenging. Our team is an evolving communication team, and I think sometimes we had it covered, but we went to the wrong person. Mathiowetz had a great start. I think she shot the ball really well. I mean, she had a great game overall, but I think she's someone who we know is a shooter, who we wanted to be dribbling the ball. To her, we can't. And, we just didn't get there in time. We picked wrong a couple times, and they all made us pay.
You've played SDSU a few times throughout your career. What do you think has allowed them to be so consistent over the years and play so well, especially against, some higher major teams as well?
Yeah, and I think our two programs, what I told our team was our two programs are like, we're in a different category, and there's a lot of respect for them. I was an assistant coach when we played them twice. We've played them now 3 or 4 times as a head coach, and a lot of mutual respect because I think we do things similarly. We've had graduation over the last 2 years, and I know they've had some graduation as well, but what they're going to get when they graduate 3 more starters this year is what we've had the last 2 years. But normally we both have rosters packed full of players who've been around, and consistency matters. Aaron's been there for 25 years or 24 years or whatever, and that matters. The message is the same. You don't have to start over from the beginning. You carry the culture and how you play from class to class to class. And so I think that in a time where consistency and stability is rare in college athletics, they're a stable and consistent program. And I think that's a huge part of their success, besides the fact that he does a great job. He gets the right kids, all those things. But that's what we're trying to do at his level, or at our level. The two of us, I would call us close, right? We kind of do the same things. So.
Let's have one more for Coach. Good, awesome. Thank you, Coach. Thanks,
yeah,
Thanks for being here.
Can I take
Good luck
this
the rest of the
Coke over
season.
here?
Yeah, please do.
Thank you.
He's ready to run. We're gonna get AJ out of the way and then bring up a couple players too. Your floor. All right, joined next by South Dakota State head coach Aaron Johnston. Coach, if you want to give us an opening statement, we'll open it up for questions both online and in person.
Well, I appreciate the crowd, the atmosphere was great. You know, just a fun game to be a part of. Obviously, our opponent is excellent, so it was a good battle between two teams. But really appreciate the hospitality and coming down here and playing and having the turnout of Jackrabbit fans. That means a lot to our team. We have a lot of local players, and I know they had a lot of people here rooting for them, so it was fun to get a win there. You know, I thought we played really well. They're very good. You know, physicality inside was certainly a big part of the game on the glass, certainly a big part of how they defended Brooklyn. But we also have just a lot of really good shooters on the perimeter, and I thought as much as they took Brooklyn away, it probably opened some things up for some of our shooters. Maddie had a great game. Fun to watch her play that way. Hadley played really well for us off the bench. Katie had a nice game. Just fun to see so many players step up and kind of fill a little bit of that void that Brooklyn has you know, kind of filled so far earlier this year. So a great game for us, good win.
Not to suggest that you were rooting for a game where Brooklyn didn't have 25 points or anything like that, but were you kind of waiting to see how your team might respond in a game where she did get taken out like she did?
Yeah, I mean, you know it's coming. I think any team out there, if they said, hey, listen, we're just going to not let this player beat us, can do that. And that's where it does open some things up. That's where our passing, I think, was really good. Our spacing was really good. We attacked, I think, pressure really well. It really wasn't until that third quarter when we started fouling where the game really slowed down. And then that kind of got them back into it, and we just couldn't get them off the glass in the fourth. But when the game was in a little bit more of a pace, I thought we had really good rhythm. We played really well. And there were a lot of people making plays for us. So, yeah, we don't root for those things to happen, but you just know if someone wants to take something away, they can. And they did a great job on Brooklyn. Their interior posts are, I mean, they're good, and they're horrible. You know, they just keep coming, and they all play the same way. So it's a tough matchup for a lot of teams because of that.
Second quarter in particular was pretty good. What specifically did you like about you guys play in that quarter?
You know, I thought we had really good ball movement. That's when we started attacking their pressure a little bit better. Their three-quarter prep, things like that. I thought we did a good job of just skipping the ball and finding open shooters. Everything just was in the rhythm. We didn't turn it over. We defended without fouling. They didn't shoot a free throw in the first half. I think that's our defense. We did some of that stuff to start the third a little bit too, and then we just started fouling. You know, fouls are they're a tough thing to overcome, but we hung in there, and that was the big change for the first half and second.
We talked so much over the course of a whole season about the uniqueness of sort of the situation your team is in and how important games like this are. Did you guys talk about, as weird as it is, that a game in November is, I don't want to say must win, but for the things you guys have in mind that you want to accomplish, this was an important game.
Yeah, it was, but honestly, never talked about it in that regards. We kind of had the same message when we went out to Rapid City that we had here. These are really just two unique opportunities to play in front of people who really care about Jackrabbit athletics, care about our team. And we tried to frame it in a way that was more about the two environments that we were able to play in. Both were really good teams. And what you just said about this game could probably be said about 12 of our non-conference games. So we try not to emphasize that part too much. I think our team knows that they're all important and they get it. But these were fun games, these last two, for us to try and, not trying to sound too dramatic, but celebrate kind of Jackrabbit athletics in a couple of places that we don't typically play. So that's where our focus was. I wanted to play well, but we tried to acknowledge the uniqueness of both of the events.
Going off of Matt's first question, do you think it was good to have this type of game where they take out Brooklyn before you play some of the bigger teams like North Carolina and Duke and Texas and those bigger schools?
Yeah, it can be. You just don't know how everybody's going to defend. Our next opponents might defend Brooklyn differently. If this is a playbook for everybody, I'm sure some people would watch it and say that's great. Some people are going to watch it and say, hey, we can't give up 12 threes. We're not doing that. So it's just going to depend on the choices that everybody makes. But I think it's a confidence builder for the group for sure that Brooklyn doesn't have to score for us to be successful. But I would still say this, and I really believe this. Brooklyn's impact in the game today was just as important as it was against Montana. Just because she wasn't scoring didn't mean she didn't create a lot of shots with her presence up there. So that's I think, the really uniqueness and the great thing about our team. There's a lot of people that can shoot it and pass it, play really unselfishly, and that's shown in all of our first time games.
Madison Mathiowetz had a great game tonight. Do you think she's maybe kind of gone under the radar throughout her career because maybe being in the shadows of Brooklyn and age and players like that?
Yeah, I think both Ellie and Maddie have been so just deeply important to our program in their entire career. On the court with how they played, and certainly off the court. You're not going to find better leaders or better teammates. All three of those seniors have been fantastic. And it's fun to see Maddie step up and have a game like this. I know Ellie's going to have games where she really gets into the staff category more, but they're doing a great job for our team. Just really important.
Yeah,
Thanks, Aaron.
We'll bring players next. Thanks, Coach. Appreciate it.
Aaron, before you go, can I take a picture of your box score? I don't have one. Awesome. Thanks.
Come on in, Nick. It's your patience, y'all. Just open up the questions right away for Katie and Madison.
Katie, was that a fun environment? There was a big crowd, and they were excited to see you guys play. It looked like.
Yeah, it was a super fun environment. I used to play AAU here, so it's fun to be back in the building and just see a bunch of people that I already knew, and the crowd was super loud, which gives us a lot of energy. So yeah, it was fun.
Madison, you guys were really good in the second quarter. It seemed like that was kind of when you pulled away. Just what was working for you in the second?
Yeah, I would say we locked in on our defensive plan, and then that led to a lot of transition offensive points, and led to getting open shots on the outside, getting Brooklyn some touches as they were playing pretty tough on her. So I thought we just did a good job sticking to our game plan.
I asked AJ about the importance of this game, just as far as you guys know your non-conference games are kind of your resume for what happens in March. How much do you guys talk about that? How much do you emphasize knowing that these are big games, that there's a lot at stake that can affect you down the road?
Yeah, I'd say we look at these games as one game at a time, no matter who we're playing. Knowing the opponent's going to be good, they're going to bring a good game plan. But like you said, every game's going to prepare us for the postseason, especially this non-conference schedule that we have. So I think just remembering how important coming out and playing each game like we were at the end of the season.
Madison, after how the first quarter played out, did it feel like, hey, we're going to need to knock down some outside shots if we want to win tonight?
Absolutely. I think it's a big part of how we play basketball, inside out. They were playing really tough on Brooklyn, like I said before. And so those outside shots were there, and we had a lot of people knocking down tonight.
Yeah, you guys have had a really strong start to the season defensively. Just what do you think you guys have been doing well, specifically holding them to low field goal percentages?
Yeah, we work on defense a lot in practice. It's one of the things AJ harps on because if we have good defense, it leads into offense. So I think AJ called it rabbit habits, just doing the little things right. And so I think if we keep working on those things, like closeouts, box outs, it'll keep leading into better games.
How excited are you guys to go to Cancun?
Very, very, yeah, super excited. Play some great teams there, some great competition, and then get some good quality time with our teammates and our coaches and some Jackrabbit fans that make the trip.
Well, don't forget to bring your rabbit habits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's new. I never heard that before. Thanks, ladies.
Thank you.
Thank you.